Hey guys, it's Josh here and welcome to my Comfy Gamer and Casanova Cave add-on overview video. If you've been following me for a while, you might know that these two add-ons are from earlier in the year, but I didn't actually make a video on them. Since recently I have made a small update to them, adding a few more objects, I figured I might as well do a quick overview video since I'm sure that there may be some people out there who follow me but don't know about this add-on since I didn't make a video on it. So yeah, here we are. Anyway, before we begin, as usual, feel free to use my code IllogicalSims when making a purchase on the EA app, as it does help support me and my channel. Anyway, let's just jump right into the showcase. Starting off with the Casanova Cave add-on, we have a matching love seat and armchair for the sofa. This was included in the original add-on. And then over here we have a couple of new things. So we have a dining chair version of the sofa, and this is because there is no dining chair in this add-on, but I have made a couple of dining tables. So over here we just have the regular one tile wide dining table made from this table, which is actually a card game. When I first saw this in The Sims 4 Studio, I thought it was a dining table. And then when I went to try and find it in game in the dining table section, I thought I was going blind or something because I legitimately could not find it. And then I looked into Sims 4 Studio again to see what the category was. It was called game table. And I guess I should have like read it because it said card table. But I just thought that was really weird because the design of the table is really cool, but it looks like a dining table when you have it like that. And you just couldn't use it as one. So I just did a simple thing and turned it into a dining table. I made a larger version as well. This one functions as a round, a circle, like a circular table, so you can put the chairs all around it. You might want to, maybe it's better to use a different dining chair for this, but it still looks pretty good. And then over here we just have a taller version of the coffee table that's in the original pack, but it functions as a single tile table, but it does actually have a larger footprint. So yeah, it's actually kind of unique in that sense since it fits up to 4 chairs, but it's actually larger than the default one tile wide table. So if you want to have a slightly bigger table, here it is. And then over here, which is what you would have seen in the intro, we have a modular, I guess, unit, TV unit kind of. I don't know what this would be called, but it's I guess an expansion of the TV in the pack. So I think with the original pack, I didn't actually include the original object, but it was shelf, I think. Yeah, this shelf was the original. Actually, I'll go over here so we can see all the objects individually. So yeah, I just made different width versions of the unit and then modified the TV, like the I guess the backboard of the TV. I've made various different modular pieces so you can mix and match and combine them and all sorts of stuff so you can make your own custom unit. And obviously there's clutter slots absolutely everywhere since, you know, I like to put clutter everywhere, wherever I can. So you can place them in all sorts of places, especially on these shelves, of course, and even on the curved pieces, you can place stuff wherever you like, even on top. But right now the wall height is low, so I can't actually put anything on top. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is for the Casanova Cave add-on, so let's just jump over to the Comfy Gamer add-on. Moving on to the Comfy Gamer stuff, we have a 1 row or 1 column shelf and 2 column shelf version of the 2 tile wide shelf that we got. And then I've made a cabinet using the cabinet that's attached to the desk. So just a couple of simple additions. And then over here we have 2 different desks. So we've got a desk which has 2 tiers of shelf on either side, using the shelf object as the base. And then over here we have one side with the same shelf as the other desk, but the other side is as you can see, sometimes the computer is a little bit big. And because of that, I've made this desk, which has one side has a larger opening, perfect to fit a computer, since there is even ventilation on the back, since having a ventilation is very important. And then also we have 2 different computers. So we've got a 3-monitor computer and then a 4-monitor computer, depending on how much of a pro gamer your sim is and how much money they have to spend. So with this one, we've got when whatever your sim is doing, and then they must be recording something, they've got some chats open, and then they must be looking at some kind of guide. But yeah, that's all there is to those computers. And then over here we have a new kind of desk, which is a wall-mounted desk. So obviously you can't place them out in the open, since otherwise they'd just be floating. You can probably use move objects if you wanted to though. But yeah, you place them against the wall. Functions as you'd expect. You can just place anything you'd want on top, just like a regular desk. And if you really want to do it, you can actually make the illusion of an L-shaped desk like so, and then obviously your sims will only be able to use one side at a time, so because otherwise it'd be a bit too squishy. But yeah, just some creative ideas, I suppose. And then over here we've just got the wall-mounted version of the photo frame, or the picture frame that was in the pack. Figured it would be really a cool idea, since I really like some of these designs, and there's only so many in the base game at least that you can use. I feel like I use this photo frame way too often. Same with the apple and pear one. Where is that? That's one of my favorites to use for sure. Here it is. Yeah. So if you wanna have a few more options, here they are. And I like how the different designs change the artwork as well. Creates way more options. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to the Comfy Gamer add-on. And also, for my next custom content set, I'm thinking of either an Adventure Awaits add-on, or making an expansion to the, or making like an addition to the base game add-on I've made. I still haven't quite decided yet. I definitely have a lot of ideas for either one. So yeah, feel free to comment below which one in particular you'd like, or maybe another pack. If there's another pack that you really want an add-on for, feel free to let me know, and depending on like how many likes or whatever, maybe I might change my plans. But yeah, with the base game add-on though, I feel like what I'll focus on would be the curtains. So if you saw that my cats and dogs add-on, I did like a curtain expansion for the cats and dogs. I feel like I might do something similar for base game, and I also want to make like more archways. I feel like we need more archways sometimes. Maybe not, but we'll see. With the base game add-on also, I might make altered versions of the island counters to have the cabinets on the correct side. That's one thing I wanted to add. But yeah, we'll see. Feel free to comment below. But anyway, I will leave the download links for these 2 add-ons in the descriptions below. As with my previous add-ons, which are based on packs, you will need to own the respective kits for the items to appear in your game. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye guys!